Thank you, everyone, for joining us for another council meeting, regular council meeting in the beautiful city of North Miami. And I hope everyone had a safe, enjoyable summer with your family and friends. And I see the kids, some of them are here, but they are back in school, return to school and all that good stuff. And we hope this year will be a very, very successful year. I would be remiss if I did not take a personal privilege to thank the staff and the residents of the city of North Miami. A couple weeks ago, we were, and we'll talk a little bit more about that during our council report, but at the beginning of the meeting, I just wanted to acknowledge and thank all the residents, friends, family. Everybody here is a family in this wonderful city. I was on a trip with a delegation with most of the members here, and it was a very rough day, which we knew we were 5 hours ahead in schedule. I was in another continent, and all I knew during lunchtime, I blacked out, I faded, I passed out. And I don't know what happened during that time period, but people are saying it's a miracle, the people that was there, because at some point, they really thought that I was gone. And I don't know, again, how long, and they have kept it a little secret, trying not to tell me how bad it was, but they were really, really scared during that time. And within less than an hour, I assume, I woke up just like everything else, like my chief of staff would say, giving orders, saying, what happened? What am I doing here? Where am I? And that itself, and I've been to every doctor, one of the best specialists at Mount Sinai, neurology, looking, there's nothing, they could not even see, nothing in the brain, what had happened, et cetera, et cetera. And so if there's a miracle, you're looking at it. So I want to say thank you, and I thank God every day, but I do want to thank all of the people from the great city of North Miami, from all over. But when you're home, you could feel it. And I really want to say thank you, and also want to recognize our new sworn police chief. We'll go into that right after. Welcome, Madam Chief. Again, thank you again. And now let's start with roll call, Madam Clerk.
All right, 7:03 p.m. Mayor Alex Desilme.
Here.
Vice Mayor Estime Irvin.
Present.
Councilman Scott Galvin.
Here.
Councilwoman Timothy, excuse me. Councilman Pierre French Charles.
Present.
Mayor, you have a quorum to proceed.
Thank you so much, Madam Clerk. And now let's, our new chief will do the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by invocation by Rabbi Lepsy from the Church of North Miami.
Good evening, everyone. If you could place your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, as a public servant of the Jewish faith, everything is about the new year coming up. And I would just, I want to dedicate this invocation. What is the definition of new? You know, we live in a times where there's a lot of new technology, new ways to do things, but a lot of times we're stuck with new ways to do old things. And would be far better if we did new things in old ways than old things in new ways. So that is the true definition of new, especially for a human being, changing the frontal cortex, changing how we see city, changing how we see community, changing how we see what's possible. And with that, dear God Almighty, I pray that you bless all the public servants here present meeting today to be able to open up to a total new form of higher understanding as you would have us see in community, in service, and may you bless them with success in all their endeavors. May you bless all those present and all those that are part of this wonderful city. Also, I'd like to make a special prayer to our new chief. God, please keep her safe and keep this city safe. Amen.
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 Thank you. Madam Manager, any addition, deletion, amendment, deferral to the agenda?
Mr. Mayor, tab
Is your
K.
mic, your mic, is it on? Okay,
Hello, testing.
yeah, okay.
Tab K, Mr. Mayor, I'd
Uh-huh.
like to defer this item indefinitely.
Got it, okay, tab
And-
K is being pulled. You say K? Okay, any other tabs? Tab K, okay, anything else? Any other tabs?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Attorney, are we all good?
Yes, Mayor, the agenda is set. You may proceed.
Actually,
Yes, go ahead.
I'd like to ask that tab O be tabled.
Okay, deferred. Tab O, Madam Clerk, tab O is being deferred, and we're pulling tab K. With that being said,
Tab O
anything
is
else?
being, that's a motion to defer tab O to.
We need a motion, correct. You wanna move it?
Move it.
Second? And then we'll just
right, I
table
have-
it, okay.
I have a motion made by Vice Mayor Estimate Irvin to defer tab O. Is there a date certain? So,
To next council meeting, that's fine.
to the next council meeting. The motion was seconded by Mayor Desilme. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with a 5-0 vote.
Thank you. And we are also using a new voting system, updated, I guess. We just find that ourselves. So if we're having a little hiccup here, that's why we're trying to figure out how to work the technology, as the rabbis say, something new that's just coming in as we start our new year. Okay, with that being said, we have a couple of presentations before we go into city event, and we also, I see the representative is here. Are you on this agenda also? For this, should we add you on there? Awesome. Okay, right after special presentation, so we'll do the proclamation, and then we'll do also the award to Tom, our Assistant Public Work Director, and then we'll do the legislative update from Representative Daddy Joseph and from our Senator Chevron Jones of District 38. Okay, let's go. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Councilman Charles presiding in here. For this presentation, I know we have all the whereas, but I just want to speak from the heart. Growing up in Haiti, and I heard that we had a Haitian national team who went to the World Cup, and I was back, I think, 1974. And at that time, I was not even born, right, Vice Mayor? So, never again. And I've been praying, and I said, God, don't let me go to rest without seeing that another time in my life. And didn't happen by our men, but our young ladies. And we have one in here. She's a living testimony of everything that we did. And we had our flag, the Haitian flag, flying high overseas. And thanks to her. And she's here today, Kelly Taves. And she was born in Canavia, Port-au-Prince, 1999. At that time, I was still a baby when she was born. And she's been part of our Haitian U20, under 20. Team, and she went to the World Cup and played in the CONCACAF and everything. And now, not too long ago, she was again the goalkeeper of our Haitian national team playing the FIFA World Cup that was just finished now, and you know everything. And what I'm saying is that we have talent. And the best part of it, that's why I want to speak from my heart instead of reading the script, because I think I would be off script if I don't say it that way. She lives just right here in North Miami. and she is one of our residents. And we have talent, and we need to work with them and make sure they keep going up and up. And I know next 4 years we'll be there again, and she will be the one standing and making sure everything goes well for Haiti. And I want to say thank you to you. Thank you to your family. Thank you to the entire team. And today is not, I know it's not just you, because Friday I was there and then you were speaking, and every time you take time and great pride to say, this is not about me. It is about the whole team. And I just want to say to you, congratulations. Keep up the good work. And on that note, and Mr. Mayor and my council, I just want to declare today, August 22nd, as Kelly Taves Day in the city of North Miami.
Ngele ap stressé, mpa kwen non, parce que je devant pile moun. Avant moi remercier nous pour invitation ça qui témoin saluer présence nous.
Un petit moment, Madame Cayus, because no, she knows I have to translate
Oh, okay,
for her.
she will do-
I already spoke. Yeah, I have to translate for her, so. OK, faites commencer.
OK. Avant moi dire merci, qui témoin saluer présence nous.
Before she thanks everyone, she wants to acknowledge and salute you all.
Merci parce que nous t'avez pensé avec moi pour nous inviter moi dans réunion ça.
Thank you for thinking of me and inviting me to be here.
Merci à tout le monde qui t'a approuvé invitation moi.
Thank you to everyone that approved of my invitation.
Moi content là, non seulement moi content personnellement pour moi et moi content pour message ça nous voyer aller.
She's extremely happy, not only personally, but for the message that you are sending out.
Nous voyons un message qui faut by tout jeune yo, ni ça qui pratique sport, ni ça qui pas pratiquer sport.
You have sent a message to all the youth, those that are in sports and those that are not in sports.
Kounya là, moi penser avec ça nous fait invitation nous ba moi jeune là, ça va le faire au travail plus.
Because of this great honor and invitation, this is going to allow us to work more
Pour yo faire bagay qui positif dans société ya,
to do more positive things in society,
parce que yo connaît que gagne monde k'ap gade yo.
because they know there are people that are watching them.
Ça yo fait qui bon yo connaît que li pas perdu, gagne monde k'ap reconnaître valeur yo.
The good things that they do, they know that people will be watching them and there is value to it.
Jodi an c'est moi qui là,
Today I'm the one here.
demain si Dieu veut c'est ap yon l'autre.
Tomorrow it'll be someone else.
Donc ça c'est une bonne motivation pour jeune yo, moi content.
This is a great motivation for the youth, and she's very happy.
Et pour moi fini,
In conclusion,
m'a dit jeune yo kembe fem, moi connais li difficile, mais kembe là.
I'm telling the youth to hold on strong. I know it's very difficult, but please hold on.
Rien pas jamais facile.
Nothing is ever easy.
Pas penser li facile pour l'autre moun yo tout.
Don't think it's easy for other people.
Kembe là travail. Et là nous t'a vle baisser,
Keep up and work hard, and if you think you need to
kon
discourage,
connais les li pral jour c'est les ça li pi fait noir.
all right, I need help there. When it's daytime, like when it's dark, it's the darkest time.
Et m'a dit merci ensemble avec Consuelman et
Charles,
Pierre Franchal.
I'd like
Eh
to say
bien-
thank you to you all and Councilman Pierre-Franc Charles,
Merci à tout le monde qui est là aujourd'hui. Hein.
and thank you to everyone that's here today.
Et moi pas oublier dire merci à toute équipe haïtienne là, qui t'a Parce que moi-même seulement badab kala, c'est parce que nous te fait un travail d'équipe qui fait jodi am ka recevoir gloire ça nan men nou.
And-
Merci à yo même.
And I'd like to say thank you on behalf of the team. It wasn't just myself. I was part of a team, and we did what we could. And so I'm saying thank you for the team.
Merci.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Anisha Daniel. I serve as the Deputy City Manager here in the City of North Miami. And we would like to bring up Tom, Mr. Thomas Positano. So Tom actually served with us for 38 years, delivering excellence, dedication, and service. And so from the city manager's office in the city of North Miami, in recognition of your 38 years of dedication and service, we would like to salute you and thank you. If your wife can come on up and take a picture. Yeah. Yeah, I did already. Oh, you did? Whistler, would you like to say something? Let's say something first.
All right.
Oh, you want to do the picture? Yeah. Whistler, you want to say something?
Sure. Good evening, everyone. My name is Whistler Pierre Lewis. I'm the Public Works Director. And it is a privilege to be here. It's been a privilege to work with Tom for 15 years. Tom started in 1985 with the city, June 1985 to be exact. He started off as a GMW making $6.35 an hour. He is leaving us as the Assistant Public Works Director. So, so it is a true story of starting from the bottom. Now he's here. So he is he's taken the steps to be a GMW, facility maintenance, a trades mechanic, coordinator, superintendent, operations chief. So he's really worked his way up the ladder. And he was instrumental in starting the stormwater utility for the city. He's been in all of the divisions in Public Works. Have several divisions, except for the water plant. But he's been in all of the other divisions. And he has helped us through storm events like people who were here for Andrew, Wilma, Irma. He literally paved the way because he was in the streets department doing the resurfacing work. So he's done a lot for us. I'd also like to say that he is truly someone who recognizes serving the public. He lets staff know you're here to address the public. Put yourself in their shoes. If you encounter a problem, what would you do? How would you like to be treated? He's always positive, always professional. And I said it before, he's the best assistant director anyone can ask for. We call him the MVP of our department. He has the record for the number of years in public works, so it's been a pleasure, and I can say nothing but great things about Tom and wish him the best on his next role.
I know you're a man of few words, but you got to say a few things.
Okay, very, very few words. First, I want to thank the mayor and council, Madam Manager, Madam Deputy Manager. Special shout out to all my Public Works family, especially Whistler and Nikki. And to everybody else that I've had the privilege and honor of being able to call friends and coworkers over the last 38 years. It's truly been an honor and privilege to work here, and I leave with nothing but the best of memories. Thank you all.
You know, yes, we wish he could do another 38 more. But I think I've met Tom since I was on the Youth Opportunity Board as a student here in the city of North Miami from 1997, North Miami. So always been very good. But when the manager, the office, there's a little thing here. That's the administration, but they speak for the manager's office. So the vice mayor and I were sitting here saying, wait, nobody, so we will give you $1,000 because yes, from our discussion, thank you. No, we know, but this is really thank you for all your service. Yeah, exactly, to make up for the $6. Thank you. You are just a kind, and we truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Seriously not necessary. Thank you so much.
No, I didn't. I was out of town. I saw it. But yes, it is. I told the representative. She said, yeah. It's so nice. Oh my God. Thank you so much. And now we are going into our special legislative update from Senator Sharon Jones of Senate District 38? 34. Okay, it was 30-something at some point. It's so changed every year, every other year. And then followed by, Representative Dottie Joseph of District, which did 108. I think that stays the same. Thank you. Go ahead, Senator.
Thank you so much, Mayor, and good evening, Vice Mayor, and to the entire council and to the city of North Miami. It's definitely good to be here with you all today with my colleague and sister and friend, Representative Dottie Joseph, who I have the awesome privilege of serving with, who we're going to do this together. And so I'm going to start off, and whatever I forget, I'm sure she will help her brother out. I am, for those who don't know and realize that the district has changed, and your former senator, for those who don't know, was Senator Jason Pizzo. After redistricting, I became the new senator for this area, and it has been a privilege to be able to do that. As you all know, we finished the legislative session back in May. We went into the summer months, and now we're preparing to go back to Tallahassee. The House will go in September. The Senate convenes on October the 9th. I know that your city are already currently working with our office to prepare your legislative agenda for some of the items that you will be putting forth for our January start for the legislative session, in which we are looking forward to getting those, and Representative Joseph and I working on those together. I do want to just go over 3 bills that I filed and the governor signed into law The Senate bill, first one is Senate Bill 196, which is guidance services. Currently now in current law, we do not have the conversation about what students should be doing after college, and we start that conversation in 11th and 12th grade. With the guidance services bill, it places a guidance service counselor in each school that starts the conversation in middle school and not waiting into high school. We also got the Student with Disabilities Bill, which is Senate Bill 290. For those who are not aware, students who parents work with the school with an individual education plan, also known as an IEP, those when the child when they age out, quote unquote, according to the school district, the IEP services usually stop. With Senate Bill 290 says that those services do not stop until the child finishes a complete school period. So it follows them. Next year, we're going to take it a step further. I am going to file legislation that if a child is receiving an IEP in the school, that the IEP carries over into a Florida college or university for continuity purposes and for other purposes to ensure that the students can also thrive in college also. And the last one that we filed and the governor signed was Senate Bill 490, which was family and household members of homicide victims, which is known as the Curtis Law. Prior to Curtis Law, when a child was murdered, that the parent would not be able to receive any information about that child until after the investigation. With Senate Bill 490 now says that as long as it does not interfere with the investigation, that the police department must hand over that information to the parent, and they must hand over the body to that child, and then they can continue for their investigation. This year, as you all know, the House and the Senate, we work very closely together when it comes to appropriations. It is a very gruesome process in working to get appropriations, but I do want to acknowledge and thank the council for coming to Tallahassee. I don't think you all understand how much your presence mean when you come up there, because you all can give us these projects, but unless we take you to the managers, the chairs of those different committees, let them know the needs that you have, it makes our job much easier when you all come up. So as much as I would love to just spend time with you, I do want you to come get your money also when you come to Tallahassee. The governor signed $21 million of my projects, which are a total of 23 projects. 3 of those projects which belong to North Miami, totaling $1.7 million, which I am happy that I was able to carry with my sister and friend, Representative Dottie Joseph. We are a very good team together, I will admit, because we know the importance of making sure that we advocate for our communities. With that total that we brought home of $21 million, the governor did veto $7.8 million of those dollars. Many of those projects were vetoed for various different reasons, some because those cities can get dollars from the resiliency fund, and others because there wasn't enough information when it came to some of those programs. I will just go over 2 important bills that I believe that needs to be discussed, and with hopes that we can have a longer conversation about it. One of it is property insurance, which was House Bill 799. I know many of you are like, what are y'all doing about property insurance in Tallahassee? Because the answer is the legislature they had a special session, but to be honest, if I could just be frank, that special session did not bring any relief to Floridians when it comes to property insurance. We are hearing, and you can ask my awesome staff who are with me today, that we get a call almost every day when it comes to property insurance where individuals' mortgages have jumped up $600, $1,200 because of property insurance. We know that there is something that's going to have to be done. This is one of those things that should have never turned partisan, but it did turn partisan. If you've ever been to Tallahassee, you'll know. There were multiple amendments that were filed to bring relief when it comes to property insurance. Even one of the amendments that was filed that required the Office of Insurance Regulation to conduct a win-loss mitigation evaluation, and also to evaluate the roofs and to evaluate the foundation of homes. But none of that was actually accepted, and for various reasons. So I want to bring that up. But on September the 26th, we will be having a town hall meeting along with myself, Senator Bradley, Senator Pizzo, Representative Lopez, and all of this will be taking place at the town of Surfside on September the 26th at 6:30 p.m. and where we will be talking about some of the things that we will be dealing with in the next legislative session when it comes to the property insurance, and to give allow people the opportunity to ask questions about how they can bring relief to their property insurance. We also passed the Senate Bill 102, which was the Live Local Act, to deal with the affordable housing crisis. I'm going to pull out two things that I think is important for any municipality, and there were some preemptions, as you all know. I think I don't speak for Representative Joseph, but I think I think we would agree, she would agree that we want to make sure that you are respected as leaders, and just like you have been duly elected by these wonderful individuals who sit here today, I think you can govern your city without the help of Tallahassee. And so Tallahassee should not be preempting, but they did. And there are three things that I want to make sure that you all are aware of. One of the things that that bill did, it removes provision in the current law allowing local governments to impose rent control, because I know when COVID came, many of the cities were trying to figure out how to help residents. Now, the state says that no city, no county can do any type of rent control, period. And so I want to make sure the city is aware of that. The second thing is that the bill it requires counties and cities to update and electronically publish the inventory of publicly owned properties which may be appropriate for affordable housing development. So if you have affordable housing, if you have inventory in the of publicly owned property here in the state, it requires you to update that electronically so you can to the state. So I want to make sure you know that. And the last thing is this bill does, it requires local governments to maintain a public written policy outlining procedures for expediting building permits and development orders for affordable housing projects if you are building an affordable housing project here within the city of North Miami. The last bill of concern that I will point out is the immigration bill that passed, and that was Senate Bill 1718. A lot of restrictions on there. And I will be very frank and honest with you, it was probably the most inhumane piece of legislation that I have ever had to sit through in Tallahassee, because of how it was done and because of what the language of the bill did. And I'm going to save the nuances of the bill with Senator Joseph. Representative, give me upgrades this. Representative Joseph, because she worked extremely hard along with Republicans to try to bring some resolve to when it came to the immigration bill. Of course, they did not take any of those things, but I did get a phone call today, and myself, along with former Senator Dwight Bullard, we are going to do an immigration roundtable because of the amount of questions that's happening. But we just don't want to have a roundtable for discussion and for those type of things. We want to make sure we get the right people to the table because we know many people are concerned. I want to wrap up because I definitely want to make sure I leave time for Representative Joseph. All of these things that I've said, we desire for the community, so we can have a larger conversation about some of the things that is happening in Tallahassee and how we can bring assistance to the residents of District 34. One of the things that I am happy we are doing is with Vice Mayor, and that is We the People University, which is on Saturday, September the 9th at 10 o'clock a.m. We just found out there's going to be a location change because originally it's supposed to be at the City of North Miami Public Library, but we are going to have to move it due to something. What, Marina? Is it mold? Yes. Yeah. Okay.
You don't have to put that on. You don't have to put our business.
I got to put that.
You changing location.
We're changing location. Listen, like when they say it, just download and print out of my mouth, y'all. Well, look, I'm so happy to sit in North Miami. They want to make sure that we're safe, so we're going to change locations. The second thing is the property insurance town hall that we're doing on September 26th, and the last one is a gun violence town hall. The state did pass permitless carry here in Florida. I want to be clear, it's not open carry, it's permitless carry. And we're going to talk with residents. We've partnered with Everytown, we've partnered with Moms Demand and some other organizations to talk about some safety measures, some prevention measures to ensure that our communities are safe. The bill has passed. Now the only thing that we need to be able to do is make sure that the people within our community is safe. With that, I am going to stand down and I am going to allow my good friend to finish up.
Thank you, Mr. Senator. So I'm gonna try to fill in some of the gaps. He mentioned permitless carry towards the end. What it does is it allows people to carry a concealed weapon in public without having to go through a background check. So what are the things that you don't screen anymore? Mental health evaluations, training on the use of firearms, making sure you have a clean criminal record, all of those things, they're not doing any of that anymore. There was an elections bill, SB 7050, which did a number of things. It made it harder for you to vote. It made it so that you have to register every year to get your vote by mail, and it allows the governor to not have to resign while he's running for president. He mentioned the immigration bill. So it does a number of things. It allocated $12 million of our Florida taxpayer dollars to go hunt down immigrants in other states. And you probably saw them, you know, whether it's Martha's Vineyard or parts of California, that was that bill. I proposed an amendment to take that $12 million and use it for Florida and for our hurricane victims. That was summarily rejected by the supermajority legislature. In terms of gun reform, I'm going to talk to you about some things that we proposed that did not pass. Common sense gun reform, safe storage laws, assault weapons, and restrictions on high-capacity magazines. We also tried to expand Medicaid. I filed a bill to expand Medicaid. Several 100,000 Floridians are losing coverage and have lost coverage in Florida. And the Republicans in the legislature are not trying to hear it. In terms of some things that did pass that are positive. So let me give you some good news and I'll go back to the bad news. We have a public records, human trafficking, public records exemption so that human trafficking victims don't have all their information out there. Elder and vulnerable adult abuse fatality review team is now established so that we can make sure that our elders are being taken care of. You already heard about the funding for our seniors, which I believe may have been vetoed by the governor. We had $500,000 for that for North Miami seniors. And then other good stuff that I should mention, menstrual hygiene products are now available in our public schools, and we have a year-round high school pilot program. Now back to the bad news. We have a 6-week abortion ban. We have the death penalty. Now it does not require unanimous consent. It now only goes to it requires only 8 instead of all 12 jurors. There was a terrible union busting bill that makes it harder for unions to organize. They have been taking attacks on diversity and inclusion. You've seen them in the news. I don't need to get into a whole lot of that. There's a book ban, which was Don't Say Gay 2.0, which they then used to make sure that you can't learn about people like Rosa Parks, Roberto Clemente, or Martin Luther King Jr. And they continue on with trying to reform what they're teaching our children in school about things like slavery and whether it was of benefit to enslaved people. I don't need to get into that. Yeah, I think y'all seen most of that. So those are basically the things I wanted to highlight. And property insurance reform, what did they do? We proposed things to make it easier. I filed amendments to make it so that they would freeze rates. Most people, the rates have been increasing. They gave a $3 billion bailout to insurance companies, made it harder for you to maintain your property insurance claims when the insurance company is jerking you around. They made it harder for you to have a lawyer and harder for you to get fully compensated for your claim. So if any of this makes you feel some kind of way, please make sure you get registered to vote and don't wait to the last minute. Thank you.
Oh my God, Senator and Representative Joseph, my God, thank you so much. But the attack, I know we see it on a daily basis, and us as public officials, we trying to do our best to fight all of the preemptions with the National League of Cities, with the Florida League of Cities, all of the other organizations that we do. I, as the president of the Democratic Municipal Offices, all of the local Democratic offices in the state of Florida, that's one of the big thing that we do is to support all of these, to fight against all of these preemptions. That if you see the attack on women, gays, immigrants, unions, black history, education, it goes on and on. So while we here thinking this is where the action is every 2 weeks, they're up there for 3 months, changing the fabric of our lives and on democracy and everything that we stand for. So we need to be awake to know an election is coming. This is not politics, but I have something when I do see the governor, because he had vetoed my little pantry. So I'm going to tell him about that and some other stuff. So we're back to regular business. Yes,
Mr.
sir,
Mayor,
go ahead.
if we can ask
Any
one question,
questions?
because I know
Yes.
next year is a presidential year, so the legislative session begins differently now during, if you could just let us know.
That's correct. We
Yeah.
start on January 9th this year.
January
So January to March this
So
year.
every presidential year, you
That's
guys
right.
start in January. Okay.
That's early, right?
Yeah, it's early because it's a
early.
president, it's normally in March.
Yeah, so it's either March or January. So in those kind of election years, that's when we have it.
Only presidential, correct? Not gubernatorial.
So
It's only
it's not
president.
just presidential, it's every other year.
The mic,
So
the
it's
mic,
election.
the mic rep.
So it's not tied to
Oh.
the presidential election, it's every other year.
year.
So
Oh, wow.
every election year that the legislature is being elected, that happens to
Gotcha.
coincide with the presidential, so it's every 2 years, it switches. So this year, this coming year in 2024, the legislative session will start in January, but that's not when the legislative business starts.
It starts
That
committee
starts
week.
in the House starting in September and in the Senate starting in October.
Okay.
That's when we
Your
start to
committee.
meet. Yeah.
Question, in terms of the last piece of legislation where I think the governor and the lieutenant governor would not be able to resign, the Florida run to resign to run law, which the name of the law. I know that was being litigated in courts by the different groups. There was some stuff, is there a stop to it, or is it, where is it now?
So almost everything that the supermajority has put has been unconstitutional either at the federal level
Oh.
or at the state level and is in various stages of litigation. Parts of it have been struck down. The part that allows the governor, or paused. The part that allows the governor to not have to resign to run has not been touched at this point. So it's still in effect.
Okay, already. Thank you so very much. Any question, Councilman Charles, Vice Mayor?
No, but thank you so much, Senator Jones and State Representative Dottie Joseph, for your presentation. I just had one question, Senator. You mentioned that you brought $1.7 million to North Miami.
Yes.
Do you know what they are, and were they
Yes.
vetoed, or did we get it?
No, we did get
Okay,
it. So
could you highlight it for our?
Yeah, it's the North Miami Septic to Sewer Phase 2 for
Okay.
$600,000. The North Miami Septic Tank Sanitary Sewer Conversion Phase 2 for $600,000, and the North Miami Foundation for Senior Citizen Services for
Oh, that's not
$550,
us.
right?
That's not us. Okay, but that's close. We'll take it. It just have our name. It's not us, but it's North Miami.
It's North Miami. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
it's us.
Yeah.
The pantry now, we need food for the seniors. Yeah, not you. not you.
That's true. But I'll end with
Yeah.
this. But I do want to know, but so you all know, as we prepare to go back into the legislative session, I know that I'm doing some meetings now with some cities and the managers and the mayors. If we, the four of us can get together, I think it could be helpful, because then we can know about those projects and what might be priority for you all.
Absolutely.
Then therefore we can put that at top of the list.
Thank
Alrighty.
you.
Thank you.
so very much for all the work that you guys do, between you and, our representative Fierce on what is it, Twitter, on Instagram,
Everything.
just doing it. And we appreciate y'all, and we know the representation matter, and we will do the best that we do to get up there to when it's legislative session in days, definitely.
And we're working on the food pantry, so just so you know, we're always working for the food pantry.
Yay. We
We
need to let
also
the
got
governor
some money
know.
for the Haitian Lawyers Association, to make sure that as you're going through these immigration challenges, we have some support for folks as they're going through this, so.
And also want to thank you again, and thank you all for also assisting with getting our Public Works loan, the $39.5 million. I remember we talked about it, and we were able to secure that, so thank you again. So they got us more money,
Yes.
add that to the
The
mix.
loan, the loan, yes. Thank you, Go ahead, Councilman.
If I may, just want to say thank you for the presentation and thank you for helping us out. I just want to say that we need a little bit more because we need a brand new water plant in the city of North Miami. So, we got more dollars coming in. So think about us, and we're just going to go over there and make a lot of noise because we need more. We need to bring more money home. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Representative and Senator. I truly appreciate it. Before we go into city announcement, we're gonna have I have a question when we do have the hurricane preparedness, and then Madam Clerk, appointments, and then we'll move down to consent agenda. City event. We'll be right back. We'll take a pause.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, staff, North Miami neighbors, and guests. My name is Savannah Smith, and I am presenting the following announcements on behalf of the City of North Miami. The NOMI Water Bill Assistance Program provides emergency assistance to the eligible City of North Miami residents on a first-come, first-served basis to make past-due utility payments for water and sewer because of the financial difficulties of the family. Apply in person at the Utility Billing Services at North Miami City Hall. Register your child for a weekly after-school program featuring enrichment activities, homework assistance, physical activities, and a free healthy snack. Register at the North Miami Parks and Recreation Department. For more information, please call 305-895-9840. Join us for a series of budget town hall meetings regarding the City of North Miami's proposed fiscal year 2023-2024 budget. This series will include 4 meetings on the following dates: Wednesday, August 23rd, 2023, Thursday, August 24th, 2023, Monday, August 28th, 2023, and Tuesday, August 29th, 2023. Interested members of the public are invited to participate in a discussion. For information regarding all public meetings, visit www.northmiamifl.gov. On Friday, August 25th, 2023, at 8 p.m., join us on Mocha Plaza for an evening of jazz at Mocha, featuring the incredible talent of the Scone Cash Players, a Miami-based group led by longtime Daptone Hammond legend Adam Scone. Don't miss out on the opportunity of a lifetime at our upcoming career and job fair. Meet with City of North Miami professionals at our upcoming job fair on Friday, August 25th, 2023, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the North Miami Public Library. Register now at nomi-careerandjobfair.eventbrite.com. Join Councilwoman Cassandra Timothy and Love Football at a ribbon-cutting ceremony celebrating the inauguration of the mini pitch built by the community for the community. The event will take place on Saturday, August 26, 2023, from 3 to 6 p.m. at Cagney Park. To stay up to date with NOMI news and events, log on to North Miami's website at www.northmiamifl.gov. Click on Connect with NOMI on the homepage to sign up for the city's newsletters. Also, follow us on Facebook and Instagram at North Miami FL and on Twitter at NOMI News. This concludes the city announcements. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, staff, and residents. Acting Commander Yos Boyarena, Emergency Manager with the North Miami Police Department. Currently, we have 2 named storms out in the waters. However, we're looking good. They're not coming anywhere near Miami-Dade at this time. We have also 2 disturbances that we're monitoring, one in the central tropic Atlantic and one in the eastern tropic Atlantic. At this time, they have a low percentage of becoming a storm, but we will continue monitoring. We will continue to make all necessary preparations to ensure that the city of North Miami is always prepared for any storms. And we want to take the opportunity to remind everyone that even though, fingers crossed, we're looking good, let's make sure that we're all prepared. We have all the preparations at home for the elderly, pets, children, and we have everything ready to go. And God forbid we get a storm that comes our way. Any questions?
Yes, yes, sir. I have a question. In terms, I got a text from a resident, but this was last week I got another one similar to the new. I know we now focusing on, hurricane, which is what's brewing, but also in terms of COVID, there's a couple of residents who've been texting, just kind of concerned about the new variants. Can you either check or updated us if we have any information on CDC about this new variants? She just texted me on it. Yes.
Absolutely. As of now, Miami-Dade has not given any updates or any concerns or any announcements out. However, I will look into it, and for the next update, I'll inform everyone.
Thank you so much, and I'll forward the chief, the person's,
Absolutely.
text. And thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Who's next? We're moving past the point. Oh, that's the clerk. The appointments, that's the clerk. Yes, no, the clerk, appointments, we have two, I see, and then we get into consent agenda.
Thank you. A resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, appointing Blanca Cobo to the charter board, term ending on November 19, 2024, in accordance with chapter 2, article 3, division 3, section 2-82 of the city of North Miami Code of Ordinances, providing for an effective date and all other purposes. So this is once again an appointment for Blanca Cobo to the charter board, with it being made by Councilman Charles.
I think that, no, there's another one. Where do we find these? Which tab is this? Let's just in the front.
Move for approval?
Second.
I have a motion made by Vice Mayor Estimate Irvin to approve the board appointment. The motion was seconded by Councilman Galvin. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries with a 5-0 vote. The second appointment, resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, reappointing Jason Gillis to Group C of the Personnel Board, term ending on November 3rd, 2024, in accordance with Chapter 15, Article 1, Section 15-4 of the City of North Miami Code of Ordinances, providing for an effective date and all other purposes. And once again, this is a reappointment for John Gillis to the Personnel Board, being made by Councilman Galvin.
Move approval.
Second.
Oh,
I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to approve the board appointment. The motion was seconded by Councilman Charles, is the one I heard first, so. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with a 5-0 vote.
consent agenda.
Unless a member of the city council wishes to remove a specific item from this portion of the agenda, tabs A through F constitute the consent agenda. These resolutions and items are self-explanatory and are not expected to require additional review or discussion. These items will be recorded as individually numbered resolutions adopted unanimously by the following motion: that the consent agenda comprised of tabs A through F be adopted.
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion to approve the consent agenda made by Councilman Charles, seconded by Councilman Galvin. I've opened the voting. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with a 5-0 vote.
And this is the new voting system, electronic. That's what we're learning with you guys. So if there's a little delay, that's what's going on. We're learning. I like that. Yay.
Oh, did it show? Wonderful.
I know I did. It was good. Yay. Love it. Good. So now you won't miss a vote at home. If you went to the kitchen, it's. They'll have it right there. It's here. Ooh, probably like the election thing. All right, now they got that stuff
Yeah.
going.
So this was, so the part that you all weren't seeing when we first started this a year ago was the screen, but this was always happening, so, just so you know.
All right, but okay. Okay, tab G.
A proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, approving the Fourth Amendment to Interlocal Cooperation Agreement between the North Miami CRA, the city of North Miami, and Miami-Dade County, authorizing the city manager to take all action necessary to implement the terms of the Fourth Amendment to Interlocal Cooperation Agreement, providing for an effective date and all other purposes.
Thank you. Public hearing is open on the item. Public hearing is open on item tab G. Seeing none coming, public hearing is closed.
Move for approval.
Second.
So just a quick question, are you all seeing the ability to approve the, or to make the motion?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay.
Do we have to do something?
Yeah, okay.
Or you
No
see-
worries.
Do we need
Let's
to do
see.
something? There's no
So
motion
try
on the
now, does
floor?
it offer it?
No, not yet.
No?
No,
Okay.
just a
No,
raise
on top
my
G.
hand.
So
Now
I'll
I
go
see
ahead and-
something
We
with
need
you.
to.
Now it's there, I think, yes.
Well, that's
Mhm.
because I'm doing it.
Okay.
All right, so I have a
Okay.
motion made by Vice Mayor Estimate Irvin to approve the item at tab G. The motion was seconded by Councilman Charles. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Not, that's a little more.
May I proceed?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Tab H, a proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, ratifying the execution of an interlocal agreement between the city of North Miami and Miami-Dade County to provide for the division and distribution of the proceeds from the Miami-Dade County 6-cent local option gas tax, providing for an effective date and all other purposes. Tab H.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Tab H is now open to the public. Yes, public hearing is closed.
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion made by Councilman Charles to approve the item at tab H. The motion was seconded by Councilman Galvin. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with a 5-0 vote.
J? Oh,
Aye.
I'm sorry. Aye.
A proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, authorizing a settlement in the amount of $67,500 in the litigation matter of Willie J. Bryant versus Pinnacle Housing Group LLC, City of North Miami, Florida, DOT, Professional Management, Inc., case number 2021-017168 CA-01, further authorizing the execution of a mediation settlement agreement for the full and final settlement of all claims and demands in connection with this action, providing for an effective date and all other purposes. Tab I.
Thank you. Tab I is open for public hearing. Seeing none, public hearing is closed. Can I get a motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion made by Vice Mayor Estimate Irvin. The motion was seconded by Councilman Charles. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item passes with a 5-0 vote.
Oh, I'm sorry. I need to look. Tab J.
Tab J, a proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, ratifying the city manager's issuance of purchase orders to Duval Ford in the amount of $109,244.40 for the purchase of 4 Ford Maverick vehicles for use by the Neighborhood Services Department, providing for an effective date and all other purposes. Tab J.
Thank you. Tab J is, public hearing is open on tab J. Public hearing is closed. Council members, any discussion? If not, move for approval.
Second. Oh,
So moved.
We are 8:30. I'm on 8:30, 8:30, about 8:45.
I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to approve the item at tab J. The motion was seconded by Councilwoman Timothy. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item passes with a 5-0 vote.
Tab K is pulled. Tab L? No? Right? Okay,
Yes, tab K is deferred.
thank you.
Tab L, a proposed first reading ordinance of the City of North Miami, Florida, amending Article 5, Police Pension Plan, parentheses, ordinance number 748, Section 15-121, member contributions, amending Article 7, Police Officers Retirement Fund, parentheses, ordinance number 592, Section 15-182, individual accounts, providing for repeal, conflict, severability, codification, and for an effective date, tab L.
Presentation, yay or nay?
Yes. Good evening, Mayor and City Council. Through the manager, I am Laura Woodley, the Personnel Director for the city. Before you this evening is a proposed amendment to the Police Pension Plan Ordinance. As you may recall, earlier this year in March 2023, the city ratified the CBA with the CBA collective bargaining agreement with the police PBA for a 3-year term ending on September 30th, 2024. There were 2 major changes to the contract. The first one was the members' contribution. Their rate went from 9.51% to now 11.51%. The second change was to the individual accounts. Basically, the insurance premium taxes, which we like to refer to as the Section 185 money, it's not going to be split this year between the city and PBA. However, those funds will be allotted to the individual member accounts in accordance with the mutual consent provisions. Due to the changes and in the best interest of the city, we are recommending the police pension plan ordinance be amended. And I'm available if there are any questions.
Thank you so much. I think members been briefed in accordance to the this is a resolution, right? It's not
It's ordinance.
the ordinance. So there'll be a second reading into it.
That's correct.
And just so we don't, hear anything, is the police unit are their representative here?
Their representative is not here today.
Chief, if the chief or some, I just want to make sure that they are okay with this.
So this is based on the collective bargaining agreement that we
okay.
had
I
back
just-
in
I-
March.
I know.
And
I just want to hear it from the police chief.
We just need to make sure that our ordinances, our
She's
code,
not in
it
here.
complies with the PBA agreement.
Right.
Yes, I know, but if we hear it from somebody from them, because we had where, we heard it was approved, and then we hear it from the rest of the crew. So they're okay with, this is all good.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The provision she's talking about was already agreed to prior to today's meeting as part of the collective bargaining agreement. So there's nothing more to approve or to ask questions about. It's just formality at this point.
No, we know, but sometimes we hear the same thing and we'll pass it based on HR, and then we will hear from they didn't know. So we just want to
Yes,
make sure.
they are aware.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know, and they're good with it. Thank you so much, ma'am. Members, any thing? If not, I'll move to approve.
Second.
Okay, Vice Mayor, any councilwoman? You good? Any?
Oh, I
comments?
know you
good?
said we heard something different from personnel,
Yeah,
not Ms. Laura Woodley.
No,
but
not
you
Miss.
know- I know you just started. She's like,
not you. No, I'm sorry, Ms. Woodley. We're talking about just in years past. We just want to make
Prior
sure.
to you,
Prior to you. Thank you so much.
Have a good evening.
Thank you. You too. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that. I know. No.
I have a motion made by Mayor Desilme to approve the item at tab L. The motion was seconded by Councilman Charles. I think you should be able to see the voting.
Yes, yes, we
Okay.
were waiting.
my-
So it is a roll call vote? You don't see it?
Yeah, we see it. We're just waiting.
My machine is off
Uh-oh.
everywhere.
Okay, no
So
problem.
I don't know if
Yeah, mine
Claude
is-
will come up and, so we're good?
That's all, it's two of them.
Yeah.
Enter your key, board
Let
member
me go
login.
on this side. I think
Yeah, I
this
guess
side we have.
So,
an issue.
yeah.
So you didn't record a vote for yay already? No?
It's
There's
asking
like
me
two
to-
of them.
Well, because you made I think the reason why would be because you made the motion to
Oh, okay.
approve.
Oh, okay, okay.
And whoever, so if the motion to approve was made, that could have been why.
But, okay, and
Yeah,
then
it's
also
asking me to
Councilman,
enter a key and board member login, so I'm not sure.
this
Okay.
one.
Uh-oh,
So I'll take the roll call vote.
thank you.
Vice Mayor Estimate Irvin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilman Charles, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mayor Desomay, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilwoman Timothy, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilman Galvin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Motion carries with a 5-0 vote.
Okay, top M.
Tab M, a proposed first reading ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, amending section 40 of the city charter to change the qualifying dates for candidates in the general election scheduled for November 5th, 2024, and for all subsequent elections. Adopting such charter amendments pursuant to sections 100.3605, parentheses 2, and 166.021, parentheses 4, Florida statutes, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the charter / conformity of amendments, providing for repeal of conflicting provisions, and providing for an effective date. Tab M.
Thank you so much, Madam. Yeah, I'm going to let you allow you to present to.
Can we actually go ahead and read
Both,
tab
yes,
N
I was
too,
gonna-
so it's the same?
Yes.
Thank you.
Tab N, a proposed first reading ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, amending chapter 6 of the city code of ordinances entitled Elections by amending Article 2 entitled Candidates, specifically at section 6-21 and 6-24 to change the qualifying dates for candidates in the general election scheduled for November 5th, 2024, and for all subsequent elections, providing for repeal, conflict, severability, codification, and an effective date. Tab N.
Yes, and now, Mr. Attorney, please just a brief clarification on the two tabs.
Yes, Mayor. So, per our charter and our code of ordinances, when elections take place, there's a qualification period that starts no earlier than 43 days from the election, and no later than 35 days from the election. As you know, we changed the election date to November of 2024. This provision would have stayed the same. It would have still have been the 43 days before that November election, and no later than 35 days. However, we got communication from the Miami-Dade County Election Department asking us to push it back. They have certain requirements that they need, and so they need our qualification period to end earlier so that they can mail out and do some notices. So all this is doing is changing really two things in both our charter and our code. It's changing the word 43 to 85 and 35 to 75. And so we'll have a qualification period now that starts not earlier than 85 days before the election, and that will end no later than 75 days before the election.
Okay. Very interesting. Huh?
No, it makes it earlier, like you would have to
Yeah.
qualify way before the election date as opposed to,
I think we looked at it, it's sometime early August. For a
Yeah,
November
because of the
election, it's something like August 5th or 6th.
oh,
or
probably
something.
because of the
Yeah,
primary, yeah.
to be with the others makes sense. Yeah, it does make sense with them. Okay, thank you. Can I hear a motion for the item?
So moved.
Second.
For both M and N, can I move both M and N together?
Okay, companion item.
Yes.
Okay.
don't
The
think the machine
only
does
thing
that.
is, did you want to open it for public?
Yes,
comment?
you're right. I'm sorry, Madam Clerk. We have, for both items, tab M and N are open for public hearing. Okay. Public hearing is closed on both tabs. We have it was moved, second. Second, we got a second? Okay.
Yes,
Go.
we did. The only thing is that even though they're companion items, they're ordinances, so I still have to record the
Sure,
votes
record them
separately,
separately.
but I'll
That's
keep
fine.
I'll preserve the motions.
Okay.
So I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to approve the item at tab M The motion was seconded by Mayor Desilme. Councilman Galvin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilwoman Timothy, how do you vote? Yes. Vice Mayor Estimate Irvin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mayor Desilme, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilman Charles, how do you vote?
Yes.
The motion carries with a 5-0 vote on tab M. Tab N, I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to approve the item at tab N. The motion was seconded by Mayor Desilme. Councilwoman Timothy, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilman Galvin, how do you vote?
Yes.
Mayor Desilme, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilman Charles, how do you vote?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Estimate Irvin, how do you vote?
Yes.
The motion carries with a 5-0 vote on tab N. Tab O is deferred to the next meeting.
Oh, that's, oh, so that means, oh, P.
Okay.
P as in, okay, P. Oh, my God.
Tab P, a proposed quasi-judicial resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, approving an amendment to the conditional use permit issued under resolution number 2021-R-57, providing for the addition of fencing and gates on 2 parcels of land located at 1701 Northeast 127th Street and 12900 Northeast 17th Avenue, and specifically identified with Miami-Dade County folio numbers 06-2229-008-0559 and 06-2229-008-0552, in accordance with Article 3, Division 4, Sections 3-402 through 3-407, Article 4, Division 2, Sections 4-202, and Article 4, Division 3, Section 4-304 of the City of North Miami Code of Ordinances, Chapter 29, entitled Land Development Regulations, providing for an effective date and all other purposes. Tab B.
Good evening. This is Derek Cook with the Planning and Zoning and Development Department through the City Manager. As stated by the Honorable City Clerk, the item before you is a conditional use permit amendment for Mata Academy. It's located in the D1 district. As stated, is a conditional use permit amendment. On May the 25th in 2021, the mayor and council approved a conditional use permit to establish then that was known as Dorrell College under resolution number 2021 R57. The applicant purchased 3 parcels of the formerly known Johnson & Wales University properties. The properties are as such: 13015 Emerald Drive, 1701 Northeast 127th Street, 12900 Northeast 17th Avenue.
Mr. Cook, I'm sorry to jump in, but what was just showing on the screen a moment ago was the Northeast 6th Avenue item that was deferred. So anybody watching at home is hearing us talk about JWU, seeing on the screen Northeast 6th Avenue.
Thank you, Councilman.
You're welcome.
So I didn't mean any of that you just saw. So the item before you as stated is for Mata Academy amendment to a conditional use permit. As stated earlier in the presentation, this item was first before you in May the 25th in 2021 for Dorrell College to establish an educational establishment. The property is located in the PU, which is Public Use District. All items that are within the public use district requires a conditional use permits to establish a new use. I've gone over the addresses that are associated with the 3 properties that are now known as Mata Academy. The conditional use permit approval was a reuse of existing buildings and facilities for the Dorrell College. And what we have before you, the proposal is from the new owner, Mata Academy, to seek an amendment to the conditional use permit to install approximately 3,500 linear feet of a 7-foot picket fence with gates on 2 of the 3 properties mentioned, or highlighted in the plans that you see before you. So On July the 13th, 2023, the Planning Commission reviewed this item and they recommended approval with a 5-0 vote. The two properties that are under question is the 1701 Northeast 127th Street and the 12900 Northeast 17th Avenue. So the next steps that we have is that this will go through administrative review through the Development Review Committee for the site plan approval and building permit to allow for the installation of the proposed fence. That is my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The applicant is here?
Yes, before we have anyone speak, Mayor, do you mind if I
Sure.
swear folks in?
Anyone would like to speak, please stand up. Do they have to be sworn in, Madam Clerk?
Yes, if you did not already complete a public speaker's card, please make sure that you grab one from the front. But if you do plan to speak on this item, please stand up, raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony that you are about to give in these proceedings is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And because these are quasi-judicial hearings, please ensure that if you had any ex parte communications, that you do disclose that. And members of the city council must also do the same. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
I'll disclose that I have had conversations with the administrators at the school about the fence and was out there earlier today, actually.
Okay, I'd like to also disclose that I'd spoken to the applicant yesterday.
Okay. All right.
Good evening, council members. For the record, Alessandra Centerman with law offices located at 701 Burkle Avenue. I am joined here this evening by my colleague, Mr. Pedro Gassant, who is manning the computer today. So we are seeking a modification of a conditional use permit for fencing and security measures. Next slide, please. The property consists of approximately 8 acres of land located at the northeast corner of the intersection of Northeast 137th Street and Northeast 16th Avenue in the city of North Miami. Next slide. As shown on the slide, this property may seem familiar as it was the site of the former Johnson & Wales University campus. As you can see here, the college campus was previously open and did not have any fencing as a security measure in place. Next slide. The applicant is requesting a modification to the previously approved conditional use permit to allow a fence as a security feature to protect the safety and the well-being of the educational community on the property. Just by way of background, Mr. Cook did a fantastic job, but just to quickly summarize, the applicant successfully received a conditional use permit under resolution number 2021-R-57, which established the existing educational facility on the property today. Over the past year, the school has encountered a few scenarios that required the school to be placed on lockdown. In September 2022, the school was placed on lockdown due to a transient trespasser walking onto the school's property. The city's police and the county's priority response team responded quickly and resolved the situation, but it did bring awareness on how to better ensure that the school was safe for all. In response to these security measures, the applicant successfully obtained a temporary use permit to allow a fence on the site. However, a permanent placement of a perimeter fence will help to prevent these types of unnecessary intrusions onto the school's property, and conversely, it will also prevent any children from wandering off undetected by campus security. Next slide, please.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Here we have the plan depicting the location of the proposed permanent perimeter fence shown in red. There will be several pedestrian gates as marked on the slide, which will allow for a more controlled entering and exiting on and off of the property. Next slide, please. On the slide is a copy of the email the principal sent out to parents explaining the code yellow lockdown situation on campus with a photo of the transient trespasser. In a world with heightened security risks, schools are incredibly vulnerable to external threats. especially in an accessible and urbanized location such as North Miami. By adding a permanent fence, heightened security features will allow the institution to fulfill a crucial part of its mission, and that's making sure that our students and the educational community are safe. Next slide. These are several images of the fence on the site as it exists today. In other municipalities, this would normally be an administrative process. However, based off of the way that the North Miami's Land Development Code is written today, we're here tonight seeking your approval to have this fence permanently installed for the benefit of our students, parents, the school, and the community at large. Last month, we had the pleasure of presenting our request to the Planning Commission and received a unanimous recommendation of approval. We hope that tonight you too will support this application. I'm happy to answer any questions that the council may have. Thank you, and I'd like to reserve any time for rebuttal if necessary.
Thank you so much. With that being said, public hearing on the matter. I don't have any cards here, so I'm assuming we good. We have one. Okay, Chief Each, please go. Please, yes, sir.
The fence looks fantastic. They're my neighbors. I'm glad they're my neighbors. They did so much for the neighborhood. This morning, the kids were out there. I feel like a young guy again, you know? The kids, I would approve it. I mean, it really classes the neighborhood up, and they need it. They really need it, especially along the canal with the kids in the back, with the wildlife and everything back there. But it really, it looks great. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. With that being said, public hearing is closed. For the applicant, let me ask a question. And I think the fence looked great and all the concept. As an educator, I'm always in support of that, but I'm not voting for this item tonight. It has nothing to do with the actual item, but some of us was not contacted about this. Is there a reason?
I do believe that we did make initial contact, and I can confirm my colleague, Mr. Gasson, did reach out to.
So Mayor, that is on me. One of the issues was that when I was trying to reach out to different council people, I was unable to. So that's on me. I would take the brunt of that. The inability to reach council people falls with me. It relies on me. So it's not on my colleague here. So my sincere apologies for not being able to reach you, Mayor, and looking forward to continuing to work with you.
Thank you, sir. No problem. Thank you, Madam Clerk. I think we're good. Ready for, is there a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
All right, I have a motion made by Councilman Galvin to approve the item at tab P. The first voice I heard for the second was Vice Mayor Estimate Irvin. Are you all able to see the vote?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
perfect.
Does that have to be a roll call?
This is a roll call. It's a ordinance.
Right, it's a roll call.
Sure.
vote. All right, so I have Councilwoman Timothy recorded as a yay, Councilman Charles recorded as a yay, Councilman Galvin recorded as yay, Mayor Desilme recorded as no, and Vice Mayor Estimate Irvin recorded as yay. The motion would carry with a 4-1 vote.
Awesome.
Correct?
Thank you very much.
Mr. Mayor, question for the applicant before they leave. I know that the west parking lot also is looking to have a fence put up. Where do you stand with the process for that?
So we're currently in the process of going through the permitting process for it. We have been developing the fence that we think is going to be the most appropriate for the west parking lot. We're actually in communications with Chief Each to make sure that the neighbors nearby are informed about it. So we're just in the process of making sure that that fence is going to be appropriate and the type of fence that we're putting up there is going to be applicable.
Okay, cool. Anything that I can do to help speed it along? I know how, I mean, this fence we just approved, I was at the school last school year talking about it with them. It's taken this long. So anything I can do to help expedite the west parking lot fence, I want to be of help. Please let me know.
Thank you, Councilman. And look, we, just as a point here, I think staff has been doing a great job. They've been very responsive, and we appreciate the
their time in helping us to bring this matter forward. So we appreciate you, Councilman, as always, and all the council folks for being helpful, and we look forward to continuing this great institution within the city. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now, Citizen Forum. I see Miss Mary. Where she went? Beverly, I saw Mary was here. Okay. Citizen Forum is open. There's 2 mics. Yes, go ahead.
Kenneth Each, 13045 Emerald Drive, North Miami, something. When I heard you guys went to Africa, I was totally, totally impressed. I thought this was the right move at the right time. We live in a very dangerous world right now. China, Russia, Iran, they're not our friends. And they're trying to make big inroads onto the African continent. And you guys went over there and you laid the seeds of democracy. Many, many years ago, when I was teaching at the National Intelligence Academy, I was talking to the Nigerians about counterinsurgency and nation building. And that's what we have to do today. We have to lay the seeds of democracy. You guys represent democracy. They look at you, you come from another country, you become a mayor of a big city. This is where the foundation is. When you look at the Russians, what are they sending? The Wagner Group over there to exploit their gold, their rare earth, the mercenary force. But you guys bring the seeds of democracy. And I tell you, from my heart to yours, thank you. I think that is so important in this dangerous world. Look what happened in Nigeria the other day. You see where they're trying to move in on that. But when these people see you guys, and you talk about this great country, you bring the flag, you bring the seeds of democracy. I don't see people wanting to move to Russia or China or Iran. I see them wanting to get the hell out of there, for God's sakes. But again, from my heart to yours, thank you. Thank you for bringing democracy there. I mean that. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Chief.
Ms. Hilton, anything? Mike, our homeowner president over there. Hello. Well, thank you. We saw you several times this week. I know I saw Mary somewhere, but she went out. Public hearing is closed, but no, you could come in, but it's officially closed as Miss Beverly Hilton's making a grand entrance. How you doing, man? Good?
Good evening. I just want to welcome you back, and it's good. You see, I'm here for the first meeting, and also to welcome our new chief of police. That's basically why I'm here, to welcome the new chief of police and the mayor and mayor and council welcome me back to our city, and we can continue working and
No, thank you.
doing good things. Okay.
Miss Jocelyn, we good? All good? Oh, awesome. Thank you. I love you. I love you. I have to love my president. Thank you so much. Council, go ahead, Madam Clerk. You say you have, you have a reports, council report.
You want to start with me? Oh.
Yeah, we can start.
Right.
I could start. It's up to you.
Oh, no problem. I'll start. Mayor, first want to say glad you're back. I'm glad you're doing well. And to all of the council, I'm glad that you all are back safely. I'm sorry I couldn't attend Africa, but count me on the next trip, next time. I also like to wish all the teachers, students, faculty, and staff a successful school year. And to our North Miami Police Department for being present at our schools, thank you. Our community feels safer because of you. And of course, welcome aboard to our new police chief, who just also celebrated a birthday. So happy birthday. Wishing you all the success as you lead one of the finest North police departments in the country. Also on last Saturday, in partnership with Love Football, we had 120 volunteers show up to help build the mini pitch, which is the first mini pitch that we have in our city. And you can join us again on this Saturday for the ribbon cutting ceremony. The mini pitch will actually be named after Gideon Desir, Lens Desir, and Ricard Dumais, who were the 3 soccer players who died in our city with that tragic accident. So this is just a great way to honor them, knowing that, we have a place for our residents and our kids to, practice soccer and so forth. So the mini pitch will be named in their honor. And lastly, Lucia Gonzalez could not attend today's meeting due to an emergency, but I know she sends her wishes. But the Tot Lot will be named in her honor for all the contributions she's made to our North Miami Library. She led the construction of our library. She also was the first librarian to serve as the ALA president, which is the National Associations for All Library. Lucia was a North Miami resident, born and raised, and she can tell you her story at the ribbon cutting ceremony, but it's an honor to name the North Miami Tot Lot in her honor. Thank you.
Sure. Welcome, Chief Gauss. Very, very pleasure to have you here, and you can look forward to my support. I also want to thank Public Works, before I forget, for this fantastically remade council chambers. It's brighter, it's lighter. You'll notice the plastic barriers are finally gone. It's clean. So hats off to Public Works and everybody who made that happen. You know, our trip to Africa was absolutely stunning. It was sobering, it was exciting. For those who might have thought it was some sort of vacation, it was 6 countries in 12 days with 10 airline flights. It was withering. We were arriving at several of the cities at 2 and 3 in the morning, and then we were leaving the next morning at 4 and 5 a.m. It was a fantastic opportunity to see a part of the globe I would have never expected that I would go to see. We're not going to solve all the problems of Africa from here in the city of North Miami, but what we can do is be a good sister city friend. I've had conversations already with folks that I met there about partnering with some of the local West African restaurants to do a taste of West Africa here in North Miami. I've talked with, I became friendly with the deputy mayor in Banjul, and we've had some conversations about some of the tree plantings that he's doing there and things that we might do to supplement it. When we were in Sierra Leone, those of us who might have been on the van as we were going to leave, it was all such a blur. Everything was happening so fast. But we saw a group of kids out with one of the tourism ministers out doing a beach cleanup. I was stunned in Sierra Leone at the amount of plastic waste that lined the beach. It was almost like a sargassum wall of plastic. So I've reached out to her to find out some of the ways we might be able to help with maybe some sea cleanup. But you get the idea. There were some friendships that I made, some relationships that I'm going to nurture now that I'm back. I thank the mayor for making this happen. I thank the Sister Cities organization, the city of North Miami, obviously my fellow council members for being part of it. And I close by saying I greatly thank Misty Brown and Officer Stefan Hippolyte from the North Miami Police Department. The things that we saw and experienced together, we could have never envisioned, and you all were absolute above and beyond troopers and worked so hard. I'm thankful to everything that you did while we were there. So thank you to everybody involved with the trip, and I guess I turn it back over to the mayor. Thank you, guys.
Mayor, the theme for Black History Month, taking it back to the motherland.
Oh,
you like that? Well, I'm just saying, because you just mentioned Africa. So I was like, when they said it, I was like, take it.
Good evening once again, and first and foremost, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you, and I want to say thank you to my God. He's been with us all over the place, and we are here today smiling. It could have been a different story, but God was there, and we say thank you. And I want to say thank you to Councilman Galvin, Vice Mayor. Thank you for your guidance. Mayor, thank you. It was a great trip. I know I will be back. I'll be back, and we got work to do over there. And as Chief each alluded to, we did planted the seed of democracy everywhere we go, and we felt that our presence was truly appreciated. And there is work to be done over there, and they need us. To that, I'll say congratulations once more to Chief Gauss thank you. Congratulations, and we are so happy to have you. And the city of North Miami and our residents welcome you, and I know you will lead in a very good way. And also, I just want to say thank you to our Assistant Chief, Angel Rivera, for leading the way and with such pride and compassion. Thank you, sir, and thank you to the entire North Miami Police. And you know how I feel. And I'm just going to ask you guys to keep doing the great work that you are doing. To my dear friend, Hippolyte, that was an experience. I want to say thank you. Thank you, and I'm asking that you please give him more training because he showed out in Africa in the time that we greatly need it. And thank you. Thank you for who you are. Thank you for the work you do. And God knows why you were together with us. To my dear crying partner, Mitzi Brown, I cannot tell you how I feel. And it was to a moment, I am not the kind of emotional person, but it was to a moment that when I need a shoulder to cry, that was Mitzi, and then on the other side, she was crying on my shoulder. And that was throughout the whole drive and everything. And, let me quickly say thank you to our Public Works and Madam Manager and then the entire team for brightening up this room. I think this is the beginning. We will do more, but thank you, thank you, thank you. We love it. Finally, I just want to say this to my mayor, Mayor Desume. Yes. I do believe God put you in here to do his work. And on that day, God said that, listen, son, your work in here is not over. We need you. And I'm just going to ask you, I know you are a man of faith, and I'm going to ask you every day before you go to bed, say thank you. And in the morning when you wake up, before you even check your phone and see what time it is, say thank you to God, because I know God is in control, and God wanted you to be here, and you are here. And thank you for who you are. Thank you for everything. Councilman Galvin, you know how I feel. At some point, Councilman Galvin got annoyed by Councilman Charles. He said that I treat him as an old man. But the man that is in me, I do believe that no man should be left behind. And I had my eyes all over, and especially for Councilman Galvin, I always make sure that Vice Mayor is in check. Councilman Galvin is in check. Mayor is always up front, but Councilman Galvin, thank you, and and the sheriff, of course. Yeah, it was a great trip, but like I said, if it was not for God's presence, we probably would have a different story in here. And I'll say thank you to you all. Keep us in your prayers, and Mayor, thank you for your leadership, and we are in it together. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you. Vice Mayor.
Well, good evening. I'm going to first talk about the trip in general in part of our mission. So everybody talked about their different experiences, but one of the things that I'm proud that we did, the mayor did it, and then when he was unable to, I carried the helm to sell our city. So we actually we met with several chambers of commerce, and I was just so proud to say that we're the 7th largest city. I was so proud to talk about Nomitech. I was so proud to talk about our youth council, because this was a cultural exchange and in a sister city like atmosphere. And so we were just showcasing what we do here in North Miami, and believe it or not, trying to bring business here in North Miami, as well as sharing our experiences and the opportunities that all of the countries that we can have. So those are some of the things that we did that I want to make sure that the residents understand. Me personally, as your public servant, everything that I do, I try to attach it to economic development, and how can we attract tourism here, and those are some of the talking points that we talked about in Africa. But like Councilman Charles mentioned, I just want you to know that life is nothing but a vapor. I'm not going to go into all of the details, but I can tell you that take the time out to appreciate each other and to say I thank you and I love you and do all of those things, because we were with the mayor, we were doing what we needed to do, we were actually laughing. And then in split seconds, he was not breathing. I know the Herald contacted me. I didn't feel the need to express his personal business, but now that he's expressed this publicly, for 2 or 3 minutes, and they were medical professionals, so this is not just emotional Mary Estimate Irvin speaking, he was gone. And yes, I'm a public servant. I took off my hat and I just started praying to my God. And we took a circle and we prayed. And this is why you will keep hearing me say to Mr. Mayor, and you see that we love each other very much, and then we disagree a lot too. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I know that his work is not done. And God wanted him for a reason. Because it's not possible, if you hear all of the stories, to hear all of the events that happened even prior to that. So this is not church, so I'm going to stop there. But I hope that you hear it all the time. And like the mayor said, talk to your maker, talk to your God, and do what's right for the people. And always do what is right, because God wants you here for a reason. So now I'm going to bring it back to go back to my notes. I want to just thank the back to school event. I want to thank everyone that participated in the back to school event. We extend our gratitude to all participants this year's back to school event. It brings so much great pleasure to announce that we are able to support over 600 children. A special thank you goes out to our sponsors, our partner, including Team of Hope and AHEAD, for their invaluable contribution. Chief, welcome. We're all saying welcome, but welcome on board. Let's offer our heartfelt congratulations and warm welcome to our chief and our new addition to the North Miami community. We're excited about the prospect of collaborating with Chief Goss and achieving positive outcome together. Chief Rivera, I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you thank you for stepping in and to being the great interim chief that you were. Thank you. MD Meet speaks at Scott Galvin Community Center. So in celebration of the National Black Business Month, so last month we passed a resolution. I will invite you to all to join me to collaborate with the Miami-Dade Economic Advocacy Trust at the Scott Galvin Center on August 29, and it promised to be an insightful event, so please come for the benefits. If you've been following, every year we have our Florida Government Week. So please mark your calendar for Florida Government Week, which is scheduled for October 16th to the 22nd of this year. This is an annual event. Cities across the state come together to showcase and engage citizens in working on in the workings of municipal government. Municipal government, being the government that's closest to the people, often receive the highest approving ratings. So, however, awareness about the impact of the city services of the services on residents' life can be lacking. So this event is an opportunity to bridge the gap. I love Government Week because we get to interact with all aspects of our community. And so that's all that I have to report for you tonight. Have a good evening, and thank you.
Oh, my God. Thank you so much, Madam Vice Mayor. And let me start by saying this is from an unknown author, and it goes by, life is precious. Every minute of life is priceless, and it will never be repeated. So take time to enjoy it, be grateful, celebrate your existence. And with that being said, before I go on into the experience, the life-changing experience that most of us had during this trip, we on this journey called life. And again, I think church started with Councilman Galvin and Councilwoman Timothy Galvin, and echoed on Councilman Charles. And you know, Councilwoman, Vice Mayor Mary Estime Irving. At the end of the day, we are human beings. We are friends. We do disagree and agree on some things. But what I heard happened today, officially, is probably the first day I hear a lot of these accounts. I want to take a minute just to talk about my friends here. I'm not talking about my colleagues here. But from what I was told, I think that God was using me as a purpose, whatever that purpose may be. Prior to us getting to where I got, me and another colleague from another city, we were talking about dying. And I said to the colleague that, you know, it would be good if I die here, you know, something like that. I'm in the motherland. And before we got there, and we talked, we didn't only talked about it as we were on the boat going. It was a really in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. It was really, really crazy. 2 a.m. in the morning, we going to this island, and it was. I think that was one of the highlight, and everybody was screaming, and we were talking about dying. And it is. This is true. Unless you were there to experience this life-changing experience that occurred. The day prior to that, I have been on the board of directors of Sister City International for 4 years prior to this trip. I've been on several international trips with them, thanks to the great city of North Miami taking membership in this great organization. The swearing in that we had in the day before in Gambia, before we went to Sierra Leone, was set for a president or the head of state. And if I am lying, any of my colleagues will tell me. The mayor went out. We did not know what to expect. All they told us, they briefed us the night before, and I've been on several of these. This was one of the top notch. The way they had North Miami everywhere in the continent of Africa. If they didn't know, they were Googling us trying to find out who we were, the type of experience that the opening, I mean, it was just everything. Now we don't know what to do when they are coming over here. We got to get committee going out here, Councilman. It was just one of those things. And then the next day, as tired as we were, we got on the flight and we got on this thing, and then 2 a.m. in the morning, whatever time we got to the thing, we have to get on this boat to get from Freetown to get to the Sierra Leone, the other island. And when we got there, I wasn't feeling good, and I think I summarized it at the beginning of the meeting. And I was telling Desmond that I wouldn't do the entire day because I was, not feeling too good, and my sleeping pill didn't work, Tylenol PM didn't work, so I didn't have no sleep at all. I was operating on a 1 hour sleep. And thank God to Hippolyte, everybody was on alert. And Mitzi, when I went downstairs that morning, there was a little spot on my face. And Mitzi said, we were talking and said, what is that? Because you normally don't have any spot on your face. Is it an allergic reaction to something? And she said, the kids are coming out of school today. There we go. So Mitzi, Miss Brown offered, was it Claritin? Some type of
Claritin.
Yes, Claritin. Councilman Charles was sitting there. Hippolyte was there in midst, and Hippolyte said, "No, Mr. Mayor, you have too much stuff in your system." Because that morning when I woke up, I had a headache from not sleeping, so I took an Advil. So all that within the system, and thank God who knows, with the Claritin, so I did it. And when we got to lunch, the head table was there. The Commissioner Keone was next to his wife, Commissioner Malin Bastian. I was there, and then the mayor of North Lauderdale and his wife was sitting next to me. I remember going in to say something to Mitzi, coming back, and I think Councilman Charles started paying attention because you had told your fiance something like, Councilman, the mayor gonna go crazy with this conversation that was going on Commissioner Basson was having. And I remember saying to Commissioner Basson, asking her how the food, whatever that we had, which was something that we eat a lot in our culture too. It's kind of like a spinach type, but it's kind of kalaloo for those in Bahamian culture. So she said it was good, and I tasted it. That's all I remember. When I tell you guys, these folks not only protected me, they were everything. This was a real family. to wake up, I don't know how long, because they didn't want to tell me what happened prior to that. I did not know anything. I woke up maybe 30 minutes or an hour later, I see me in a stretcher in a hospital. I'm like, what am I doing here? Why are these people here? What's going on? And they're like, no, are you okay? That's it. Anything else I'm telling is people telling me. And when I go and explain it to doctors based on what they experience and what happened, they were like, and I have done everything from EKG and monitoring the brain for 25 minutes, trying to figure out there's nothing. And I thank God every day. And it's the deprivation of sleep from what they are saying, which they had said from Africa, from early on. But when this thing occurred, they didn't know if it was a seizure, a stroke, or anything, because from what they are saying, and this is over 100 people account, because within our delegation, we had over 40 people with us. And I think in the room when we got there was at least 60 people, ministers, different folks, because we were scheduled to go see the president of Sierra Leone at 2 p.m. And of course, that did not happen because of my situation. I blocked out. That was it. And so when people are saying all of these different things, but I want to say to my good friend, our chief, assistant chief, Angel Rivera, which a couple months ago, when we went to South Africa on a sister city mission, and I came back when we had the invitation from Miami-Dade County to join them on this trip. And I said to Mr. Rivera, I said, please help me coordinate this, because you did such a wonderful job going to South Africa in terms of doing that. So I want to say thank you for doing this. Without you and all of the organized, the level of detailed, Stefan Hippolyte, thank you so very, very much. Mitzi, thank you. I'm indebted to my colleagues and everybody on the trip. It was just like God was, whatever that was happening. And unless you're a believer, all I'm saying is just like, okay, get to the point, because you won't understand. Because even doctors are saying, no, it's impossible. What they are saying and what we're seeing now, even then, it doesn't add up to them scientifically, because they say, if there was blood, this is what happened. They're like, no, we're not talking about that type. This is this. So it's very, very detailed in terms of what happened. Again, I don't know what happened. If I died, I didn't see a tunnel. I just woke up. That's how bad it was in terms of the folks that was there. At some point, they thought I was gone. Whatever God did, whatever that happened, it was real, folks. It was not. It's folks who doesn't work for us, folks from the county, everybody that was there. Again, I did not know what occurred, and I know people here were stressing out because they didn't know. It's really, really true. And again, my colleagues, thank you so much. Back to regular business, doing the government business exchange with several countries in West Africa. We had folks, as I mentioned, from Miami-Dade County that was on there as well. I had invited the city of North Lauderdale. Their entire commission almost went with them, as well as the city of Miramar joined us into this. And we have another sister city, because we were doing the people's work, the mission of this wonderful thing. So the country of Israel, a couple months ago, reached out to us, and we started to engage, and they wanted us to have a sister city in Israel. And we have already been in talking and planning of this in March. We're supposed to, and they're already out there in Israel finding us the right city to match up with, and they are very, very supportive of all we do. And we definitely gonna be taking a trip there. In residents, we took, there was residents that was supposed to be on this trip. Well, there was residents on this trip with us, but we had business owners that we were open it to. Of course, they paid on their own, but anytime we do these cultural exchange, the residents are more than welcome, if you can, to join us. Unless you were there, what we are saying, it's just phenomenal. Back to regular business. Last Sunday, I want to thank my colleague. The street naming we did for the beloved Pastor Mireille Simon of the House of Living God, coordinated by former Mayor Philippe Bien-Aimé. We did the signing, the official ribbon cutting of the renaming of 137th Street between 8th Avenue and 10th Avenue is now Pastor Mireille on Simon Street. Thank you, council members Timothy, as well as Council Member Charles and Vice Mayor Irving, Estini Irving, for attending. Welcome, Chief. I think we everybody welcome you and happy birthday to you. Last but not least, some more exciting news out of all this thing that's coming. In the days to come, which will be possibly before our next council meeting, we are pleased, as part of my efforts, and I'm going to take credit for that one, Congresswoman Frederica S. Wilson, part of all of the stuff that we're doing, we got a $3 million award, and that's a clap, y'all. This is money, money, money from the city, and I think this is the first time in a long time we got money like that from the federal government. That will a formal announcement is forthcoming, where we will have the official check awarding to the great city of North Miami. We are very, very proud and pleased with that. With that being said, I think we will be right on time at 9 o'clock. I'm leaving a couple minutes for Madam Clerk and Mr. Attorney, and Madam Manager, that y'all don't go over. Madam Clerk, it's your time. Go ahead.
Well, Mayor, welcome back. Welcome back to the entire council, but Mayor, especially to you. It's great to see you happy and whole. I'm going to try to blitz through the city clerk report. I do miss this plastic barrier that was here, because that's how I got Jeff's attention. And now the light shines on his head, so it's a little too bright for me. That
Well,
being said,
actually, from this angle, we can see a little, but that's another story. Just teasing.
So I do want to say welcome and happy birthday to Chief Gaz. Someone had called me early on before it was official and said, you've got a great thing coming. And we're really blessed to have already had a great thing right here. And so it's just great to add to that. And with that being said, Chief Rivera, I thought I was going to get my official badge under your tenure. Maybe it'll happen with Chief Gaz. I hope she knows how I be solving crimes. Solving real crimes out here. Okay. We had our first build day ever in the city of North Miami, and thank you so much to Councilwoman Timothy. It was an amazing event. I mean, children, like little babies, were painting pretty much what's going to be this mini pitch. And, you know, folks who were young at heart, right? Not so young in age, but very young at heart were there. So we just had folks all over. It was really reflective of our city, the diversity in folks who were there, all different types of, not just, you know, we think about the physical characteristics of diversity, but there were all kinds of people there. And so that was really a beautiful thing to see, the way the community came together really to build this. And so we're really excited about what's going to happen over the weekend. We do have new technology, so do bear with us, because, you know, we are easing into it. It's not always simple, but it is meant to make it easier for you all to see what's happening back here. With that, after the items that we approved today, as it relates to the elections, we'll be having more elections updates and information coming out, because now there's comprehensive updates that can be made, so be on the lookout for that. Just wanted to once again congratulate the Haiti women's team, especially because of the fact that, you know, we don't have one goalie on the team. There are 3 goalkeepers on the team. And one of the most beautiful things that they always talk about when they do their interviews is that they see themselves as inspiration for young women, right? Because of the fact that they were able to do it, because you see them performing at the level that they're performing, that means that other young women can do it too. And I think that those are principles that we can apply to just about everything, right? Just because we are sitting here in whatever seat that may be, in whatever position, we could be chief of police, we could be city attorney, we could be city management, we could be the mayor, right? And to see that is inspiration for all the people who are to come. And, you know, we don't take that lightly, and we shouldn't take that lightly. And it really is a testament to what can happen when people put their heads together to accomplish a goal. And that is the symbolism of those 3 young women on that team, and what FIFA women's team for Haiti has been able to show us. And with that, it just reminds me of something, don't want to get emotional, but a couple of weeks ago, you know, this stuff that we do here is not little work, it's not light. We don't have to do this work, we get to do this work. The city of North Miami staff, y'all really be doing it. Y'all saved lives without even realizing it. And to watch how you all work together to save a young woman's life in particular, you all know who you are, who were involved in that process of saving that young woman's life. I just want to say thank you so much on her behalf, because that is what we're here to do. Make sure that the folks who live in our city are taken care of. And it's not always just by the police, who we thank so much for their heroism, but it is also just in the everyday work that some of us are doing. So I just want to say thank you, particularly on her behalf. And I know you all know who you are here. Chief Rivera, you a real one. You are solid. You're a good person. And I think we're just so blessed to have had you, you know, as our interim chief. The way you stepped up, you know, thank you. Lots of different things happened under your tenure, but you did amazing with what you have. And I just want to shout out, you know, we had an event today, and we don't realize how much of our residents are actually part of our ecosystems in other ways. A lot of you may know I'm an immigration attorney in real life, and today we had one of our residents actually show up and to an event that I was hosting and really show up and show out really for on behalf of the immigrant community. And I know that we're having a job fair, and what we did today actually relates directly to that. So I'm hoping that in this job fair and in future job fairs, we're more intentional about not just trying to, you know, showcase jobs, but also meaningfully ensure that folks, we're leveraging the opportunities that exist within our community, including the immigrant community in that. So that is all. I tried to go as quickly as possible, but 4 minutes, that's not bad, y'all.
If I'm wearing a hat the next council meeting, everybody will know why. Welcome, Chief Goss. Welcome back, Council. Really quickly, I have a case that ready for settlement. It's Inter-County Engineering, Inc. versus GNCA. The City of North Miami was brought into that case. It's case number 2021-026180CA01. And we'll need an executive session sometime soon to go over that settlement. That's all I have. Thank you.
Before the next meeting, or can we have it at the
As
next
quickly as possible. It's ready to go.
I know, but
We're
'cause
meeting
with
every
time.
Tuesday.
Yeah, so we can do it before one of the meetings.
One of those
Yeah,
meetings.
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
We're meeting every Tuesday in September.
Think Anisha?
Well, tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, the staff will be at the Joyce Ellison Center for the Budget Town Hall meeting. Thursday, we'll be at the Scott Gallon Center, and then the following week, we will be at the North Miami Library at the Griffin Center. We'll be presenting the proposed budget to the community, answering questions, and the budget hearing is scheduled for Tuesday, September 5th, and Tuesday, September 19th at 6 o'clock. Thank you.
Announcing some millions?
I'm not announcing millions, but I did want to remind you guys that the budget is online, as well as the budget brief. We did drop those online yesterday. And I wanted to also welcome Chief Goss and a shout out, happy birthday to Chief Rivera. Assistant Chief Rivera, his birthday is on Sunday.
Oh, happy
fellow
birthday.
Virgo.
Oh,
So I
wow.
wanted to make sure I.
Your birthday,
let him know.
Happy
Monday?
birthday to you.
Jude
Happy
also from my
birthday
office had a
to
birthday.
you.
Wow, happy birthday,
Out
Jude.
with the Leos and
And
with
it's
the Virgos.
Anisha's birthday on Monday. Might
Anisha's-
as well go
Oh, it's
there,
Leo
too.
season?
Well, we're gonna take.
No, it's about to be
We're gonna take
Virgo
the group
season,
to
that's the
lunch.
problem.
Oh, it's Virgo.
Oh my God! Thank you so much. Can I hear a motion to dismiss? Thank you. Goodbye.
Motion to adjourn made by Councilman Galvin. I didn't hear a second.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Charles. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries with a 5-0 vote. It is now 9:07 p.m. Good night.